Okay, cool. All right. Can you guys hear me? I'm going with no. Okay. Can you guys hear me now? How about now? Okay, cool. So this one, you guys can hear me? Wonderful. Okay, so now I'm going to see if I can do, I want to be able to just share this. So hopefully, all right, so you guys should be able to just see the one screen and not this screen over here is what I'm hoping for. And then also we can do this little grid thing so then we can see each other. Okay, let's scoot this so it's a little bit.
Do you want to change the name on here?
I can.
Teacher user.
I don't think it matters. All right, let me figure out how to open up the chat. I always feel so like, here we go. Okay, so then I should be able to pull this over here and then everybody can just see this one screen with the GitHub stuff, right? They can't see the screen with the group chat on it. Cool, all right. All right. Definitely respond when I ask questions so that way I know you guys are actually like here and listening. Whose thing is making noise? You? Can everybody make sure that their stuff is muted? I'm going to go through and mute the ones that I can. So please make sure that you are muted so we don't have any echoes because it sounds like somebody's like dragging stuff. Okay, cool. All right. So either in Slack or the Zoom group chat, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me and you can see my screen. Okay, hacker voice, I'm in. So thanks everybody again for being patient. I know this wasn't fabuloso, but I was planning on doing this tomorrow, but that's okay. We can change things as we go. And let me know if I'm talking too quiet or you can't see what I'm talking about at any point. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna redo these as we go, so hopefully it'll be a little bit easier to follow. We're gonna be talking about SQL again. I know, I'm overjoyed too. It'll be lots of fun. So what we'll be looking at is we're gonna do a review real fast of our old SQL stuff so we remember what it is. And then we're gonna talk about this problem of like, how do we organize real world data so that way we don't overwrite each other. So let's go back. I'm gonna go back to week 6 real fast and we're just gonna really briefly talk about all that SQL stuff so we can remember what we're talking about. Okay, so the first thing that we have is this big ugly letter smush of RDBMS. What does that stand for? And I have Slack and the Zoom chat open so you can answer in either one. This thing got unmuted, that's loud. Okay, don't know whose thing that was, but yes. Okay, so we have something database management system. Does anybody want to guess what that R stands for? Okay, so we got remote. That's a good guess, but that's not quite it. When we're building data, what's one of the things we care about? Resource isn't a bad guess. Relational. Yep. Because we care about the relationship between our data. Otherwise, we can just use a database management system, not a relational one. So what's the difference between relational data and unrelational data? Like, what does that mean? And you guys could give me like an example and be like, relational data would be like blah, and unrelated data would be like blah. Also, I like sitting down to teach. This is nice. It feels very relaxing. Thank you, Carlos, for your astute observation. Okay, so let's think about like an example. So if we had like a store, relational data might be like the relationship between information about customers and information about the products they buy. And the relationship would be the sale. And a non-relational database would be something that like you just group all the data together. So like one example that we use a lot is a package.json. All of those key pair values are data that we organize together, but they don't necessarily have a relationship with each other. Most of the time we use relational data, and that's why we spend time with MySQL and relational databases. Cool. Okay. So what does SQL stand for? Something query language, pretty close. Okay, so what's that something? Can somebody fill in the something? I've got system quality, sequential, structured, yeah. So SQL stands for structured query language, and that's just a default language that we get to use no matter what system we're in. So if we're using SQL Server or Oracle or anything else, we get to use SQL. What is the difference between SQL and MySQL?
You just said
Well, let me ask it in a JavaScript way, and then we'll see if we can think about it in a SQL way. What's the difference between Node and JavaScript?
under JavaScript or in JavaScript.
Mm-hmm. And then Tyler said SQL is a language is used to manipulate the data, and MySQL is a tool that we use to write the code out. Yeah, MySQL is a program to use SQL. Those are both really good. So MySQL means that it's the tool that we get to use. So Workbench, that was echoing. SQL. What was I saying? I need it.
Give me a second. I'm sorry. Okay. No.
Here, let me, what is your thing? And I'll see if I can mute you. Yeah, so go over and make sure that you're muted. I think Sarah said how to do it earlier. No pause.
It looks good. I told you guys before that I'm not crazy about Swiggle, but I haven't found something better to use yet.
Okay. Okay, we're back nationwide. Okay. What was I talking about?
The difference between MySQL and SQL.
Excellent. Yep. So just like how Node isn't necessarily JavaScript, it's a runtime engine, MySQL is a place where we get to use SQL. Okay, so I've talked about the difference between relational data and unrelated data. What is a database?
Like a repo where you store data or something.
Hmm?
A repo where you store data or something like that.
Kind of, we can think about it like that. How do we organize the data inside a database? I'm looking for a keyword here. How do we put all of our table in, or oops, ha.
Oh,
Excellent job, Sarah. Gold star. Yeah. So we group all of our data into tables, and then our tables belong to our databases. So I'm going to do, I like to draw. So we're going to see, I think I can do this. Be patient with me and enjoy my art skills. Make a new one. I'm going to put this over here because I don't really need that. Give me a new one. Okay. So make him white. No. Okay. So this would be our database, and then inside of our database, we would have tables. This is much neater than my handwriting. Oops. There we go. And then what goes inside of our tables? Data. And let's go ahead and make that white so we can actually see it. And then can I click both of these? Oops. Okay, so this is what our structure looks like. So we have a database that holds tables, and then each, I'm not going to recreate all the data, but each of the tables hold data. And then all of these have relationships. And we'll talk about how we define these relationships and get to use them today. So that's what our structure looks like. And I can share this, guys, with you, I guess. All right. So, okay, so let's talk more about our structure of our table. So let's make a table. So this is our table. And our table, is there a way? I think probably not, right? Oops. I think I have used this tool before that lets everybody whiteboard together. So I'm going to see if I can find that. So that way everybody can write on the same thing together. And I think that'll be fun. I just have to find it because I don't remember what it's called. Okay, here's our beautiful database. I know nothing's straight, but you know, it's okay. So our table is made up of rows go this way and columns go this way. What's the difference between, thank you for your guys' support, I appreciate it. What's the difference between a row and a column inside of a database? There are vertical and horizontal, that is true,
Yes,
but
that's what I was gonna say. What you meant?
well, think about it. Okay, so when we open up like Workbench or something, columns contain headers. Okay, that's getting us close.
Oh, I see.
Rows hold specific info. Exactly. Yeah, rows are the data. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so our columns tell us what kind of data should be stored, and a row will contain an actual value. So like, let's go ahead and let's label. I'm gonna grab my tablet too, and then that'll be nice. So this would be like maybe like name, and maybe like this one's like age. Hmm? And then maybe this one's like, I don't know, snack. And then inside of each one, we would put values in here. So this is such a good database, guys. I hope you're enjoying this. Wonderful. So then each column tells us what type of data should go in here, while each row is a unique set of data. Okay, I say unique, it doesn't necessarily have to be unique, but for the most part,
You want to make sense.
yeah, it should be unique. There are times when you don't have unique data, but mostly it'll be unique. So beautiful. I'm so proud of my art minor. I paid a lot of money for this. Anyways, cool. So all of our columns have a data type. So I got 2 data types on the screen. What other data types do we have besides an int and a varchar? What other data types do we have? You can click on that link and get a list of them too. Okay, we got float, cool. All right, that's a type of number, cool. What else do we got? Date and time, yep. We got just a char, yep. We got decimals, yep. Anything else? And I'll accept breakdowns of date and time because those have some weird ones. All right, I think that's about it. Got a double. Yep. I think that's about it. So we got all of our different flavors of ints. Again, I know this range thing's kind of weird, and I don't want to spend too much time with it because I guess it doesn't matter anymore, which I guess is nice that it doesn't matter because then we don't have to think about it. So I'm going to find better documentation for this. Let me open up a notepad real fast. Yep. Oh, I didn't fill out our little chart thing today. So sad. I have too many tiny windows open. New resource for data types. So I can replace that so we have a better one. So yeah, again, remember we saw that with the newer versions of MySQL, we don't actually care about telling it the length for the doubles and decimals, which is cool, I guess. Then we have all of our date times. Remember, some of them you have to do some weird stuff to your SQL settings before it'll let you do it, because I guess the newer version of them don't like these. But we'll play with that, and I'll share resources for that. So, and also, like, if you Google the error message, almost always the first thing is like what you need to do to fix it. We've got some strings. Okay, so I'm gonna. All right, what's the difference between varchar and char? There's a couple differences, so I want a couple different answers. Okay, so variable length. Yeah, it's awesome. So varchar specifies the end length. So, okay, so we have this thing of variable length. So I guess, can somebody give me a good definition of what just char does? And it's not a Pokemon. Okay, cool. So that's a good example. Yep. So if we have a char that's just one character, it has to be exactly that length. So if we're using char, it has to be specifically that length. If we use like something and we say like, okay, your username is a char that's 10 characters, and our user puts something in that's only like 6 characters, what is it going to do? Chop. Nope, so it's smaller. So we have space for 10 characters and we're only going to put 6 in. What is it going to do? It'll do that if we put something that's too big. It'll fill. Yep, it'll add spaces. Exactly. Yep, it'll do a right infill. So if you have 6 spaces, 6 characters in a 10 character slot, it will add 4 spaces. So let's go back to Figma. Let's draw. Oops. Sorry, guys. Wrong button. I wanted to make my font a little bit bigger. Boop. So if we have 10 spaces, that's supposed to be, oh, I don't know how to count, guys. Sorry. What is that? Is that 10? Y'all, I can't count. I'm so sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then let's say that like these are all filled in. It'll just add spaces right here at the end of it to make it exactly the same character length. Sometimes this is really nice. Other times this can really mess you up because like let's say, I think the example I talked about was like the printer. If the printer had a specific length for the username and then it filled in spaces, you might have to teach your users to put spaces at the end of their username, which was really confusing. So sometimes this can really backfire, and that's why we use varchars, because it won't fill like this. But like Chuck said, if we go over either of our variable character or our char length, it'll just chop it off. It'll just truncate it. So if you have like numbers or names, it'll just get cut off, which can also be really bad. Okay, so any questions so far about what is a database, what's a table, what's a row, what's a column, or data types? Do we have any questions about that? Cool. None yet. Wonderful. All right. So we've seen some of our ways to add and read data. So to add data, what's the keyword for adding data? Insert, yep.
Into.
Insert into, yep. Create would create a table, which we would need to do first. Okay, so this word's on the screen. How do I get data back from a table?
Select the entire.
Select, either one, yeah, just select is our keyword that we use to read data. What is the wildcard character in SQL, and specifically MySQL? What's the wildcard character? Yep, that percentage sign. That's okay. Yeah. What does the wildcard do? Be wild. Thank you, Nick, for your input. So we use wildcards when we're not sure exactly what we're looking for. So when we use like select star from table where first name equals whatever, that is an exact match, like a triple equals in JavaScript. It has to be that exact thing. Exactly. Yep, Sarah. Yep. While we can use a keyword of like and a wildcard, so that way we can look for things that are like what we're looking for. So maybe I want to see all students whose name starts with an S, or maybe I want to see all the titles that contain the word dragons. We can use like and a wildcard together in order to get that kind of data. Okay, and then we can update and delete things. And today we're going to talk about, I've mentioned before that deleting things in SQL can be dangerous. Today we're going to talk about why. All right, I don't care about NPM. All right, cool, that's all I got. Wonderful. So now let's move into our new content. I also put inside of week 8, I also have another thing that we're going to be working on together so you guys can see it. We're going to make, this is what we're going to be doing as long as we have time. I don't know if we'll have time, but I think we will. And if not, we can do it tomorrow. Okay, so now we've done a little bit of SQL review, and so we know how to like make a database, make a table, add stuff to it, get stuff to it, update things, and delete things. So all of that stuff, if like I asked you to like create a database, create a table, put stuff in it, do we think we could do that? Obviously like with Googling and time, not like you got 4 seconds. Okay, so we got yes, awesome. You guys are a lot more comfortable with SQL already than I am, so that's wonderful. Cool. Okay, so let's talk about, one of the things that I've talked about a lot is unique data. Because like, you've probably already seen this, like if you're trying to make a database that has similar data, it can be really confusing when you read data back. And it's important to have good data validity because like if you're trying to like calculate a GPA for an entire class and like you accidentally have the same student in there, that'll mess your numbers up. Or if you're trying to figure out how many people have overdue library books and you have mistakes or duplicates, you can double charge people or kick people out of the system. So it's really important to make sure that you have identified what makes your data unique. So in the real world, what are some things that we think are real world unique data for anything? Okay, we got a social security number. Okay, for the most part, totally. Yep. Is a phone number 100% unique? Is that good for identifying people? Ooh, we're about to run out of time and we're gonna have to start a new minute. We are also thinking about, I'm going to try to get them to pay for the pro version so we don't run into this. So we have 10 minutes, then we're gonna have to rejoin, but that'll be okay. We're not upgrading. Okay, so we got ID number signed to you, so we'll talk about that in a second, but yeah, we got an order number. Order numbers are good. Just so while it's counting down and telling us that we're cheap, we are going to get a paid account. I'm pretty sure I've asked for it. And we'll just, I think I can just resend the link, but if not, we'll send a new Zoom meeting link when this kicks us out, okay? Because it will kick us out in a couple minutes because we're still on the free version. What's a UPC? I don't know what that is. Oh, product code. Okay. Yep. Okay. So I want to talk about phone number for a bit because I think it's a really nice segue. Can your phone number change? Yeah, so you can get a new phone number. So is that something that we'd want to use to like identify people by? No. Passport? Does passports have numbers? I own a passport. I should know if it has a number or not.
I don't have one.
Cool. Shows what I know. Clearly I cared and looked at my passport. Anyways, people still do though. This is true. Nick, that is a very good point. People use bad data as unique identifiers. I have seen people write production code using people's names as a unique identifier. My last name's Smith, guys. It's not gonna work. It's not unique. But people do things poorly. I totally agree with that. So Sarah brought up this point of IDs. So most of you, I think all of you guys have an Augusta Tech student ID. Oh, that reminds me. Sarah, thanks for bringing this up because this will be important. Can you guys Slack me your Augusta Tech IDs so I can get you registered for the GitHub Student Pack so you guys get a bunch of free stuff?
Get mine at the house.
Okay, just some time. Yeah, I'm working on it. So I have to write a script to generate unique IDs and keys for you guys. I'm so excited to do it. It can be letters, that's fine. It doesn't matter. You should have a student ID number on your Augusta Tech badge. What is the?
Check your email.
Yeah, like you guys, I don't think use it that much, but in your email you should have one because like if you're registered in other Augusta Tech classes, you use it to like log into Blackboard and stuff.
There's one on the back of the clubhouse one. There's a barcode.
I don't know what the Clubhouse one goes to, so let's use the Augusta Tech number. Not the end of the world, just like as you find it, give it to me. So that way I can get you guys registered for the student pack. Huh? Did you know? Okay, we're totally derailing, so sorry. Guess what song came on the radio when I was driving home from, I don't know, I think I went and got Taco Bell on Saturday. Guess what song came on the radio? It's the end of the world as we know it. Yep. And so I'm just drinking my Slurpee thing, just listening to this song, and I'm like, yep, this is it. This is the vibe. This is how it goes.
No, this guys ain't ready yet.
Not yet. Okay. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and put that.
Now, when I start seeing some angels coming out the sky, demons rising above the ground, then I'm going to be worried. Until then, I ain't worried.
Register. Not yet. You got 5 minutes, then I'll kick us out. I'm just typing things. Okay. Of course he is. I love Weird Al though. Like he's very nice. Like, so I saw him when he came to Augusta. What if we came through the Department of Labor? You should still have an Augusta Tech number. If you have a student ID and you're registered for this class, you should have an Augusta Tech number. They should have emailed it to you. And again, no rush, no stress, just as you find it. It's gonna take me time to register you guys anyways. So if you don't give it to me till Friday, that's cool. This is no rush. This is just something that so I can set you guys up for stuff. But you should have an email. You guys got your number emailed to you from Lisa, right?
Yes, I just found that.
Okay, so Lisa should have sent you, Lisa Palmer should have sent you an email with all of your stuff. Didn't you have to go to tech to get an ID? Yes. I'm assuming since you all are in this class, you should have gotten a registration email from Lisa.
I got Laura.
Oh, or Laura, yeah, okay. I don't super know, but I think you could, if you don't have it, you can probably just email Laura or Lisa and be like, hey, can I have my number? Or go to like the Augusta Tech website and look for it.
On
but I don't 100% know. What? Yeah, Slack me that so I can set up your stuff. Yeah, it might be Laura, it might be Lisa, it might be someone else, but like, I think the email also told you like how to register for your parking pass, how to register for your ID, like that email should have your number on it. But just whenever. Okay, cool. I'm gonna honestly let this meeting time out before I start genuinely lecturing again, because I only have like 3 minutes, and then we'll flip over to the next one. And then hopefully after today, we won't have to do this and we'll have the paid account. You guys don't have to pay anything. Nothing will change for you guys. It just won't kick you out anymore is my goal. It looks like all the numbers start with 900. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Thank you guys. I will work on that as I can. The other thing with GitHub Classrooms is I'm going to delete this, Jimmy, because I don't know if it matters. So I'm going to take your thing off of the thing because I don't. You put in the group thing.
Oh.
So I'm going to delete it. I don't think it matters, but just in case, I'm going to delete it. I can't delete other people's things. I made the channel. Okay. Whatever. Can you delete that from the thing for me, please? You should be able to hover over it and then click the 3 dots, and then there's a red text that says delete. I don't think it matters. I don't think your ID is used for anything, but you know, better safe than sorry. Thank you. I already copied it though, so you're good. Okay. The thing about GitHub Classrooms, to organize our group projects and our remote projects, I'm going to try to set up GitHub Classrooms tonight during lab time.
Ish.
Yeah, that's the goal. You know, ish. You know how it is. You know how I be. So that way you guys will get a link and it'll tell you exactly where to put your code and exactly how I want it. And hopefully that'll alleviate any stress because it'll be a little bit harder when we're remote for me to see all your stuff. So I'm hoping GitHub Classrooms will alleviate a lot of that stress. And then that's probably how I'll organize you guys, your groups for group projects too. Nothing changes. I don't think you have to make a new account. It'll just be a link and it'll be like, turn your homework in here. So it should be pretty low stress. Less than a minute. It's going to kick us out soon. All right. So do I go here? No? Okay. Do, 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 do. All right, enjoy this for a second so I have more space. Ooh, I think I've broken it. I've broken it so bad. Oh no. Okay, new meeting. 4. 11 a.m. Eastern time. Okay, so when it kicks us out, I'm going to put this in Slack. So this should kick us out in a second, and then when it kicks us out, we'll just rejoin in the new one. Today should be the only day we have to deal with this. After today, we should be able to have one Zoom meeting for the whole lecture. So today should be the only day that'll be weird. So I'm just waiting for it to kick us out.